Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
8 starting pitchers, 5 spots, and somehow this is the best thing that could have happened to the Toronto Blue Jays. Look, I get it. When you first hear that the Blue Jays have 8 legitimate starters competing for 5 rotation spots, your brain immediately goes to the drama. Who's getting left out? Who's going to be upset? How do you manage egos when you've got veterans expecting to pitch every 5th day and cashing massive checks? That's the conversation most people are having. But that's also the wrong conversation, because what most people are missing is that this so-called problem is actually the most calculated, intentional roster construction move the Blue Jays have made in years. And I'm going to break down exactly why. The Blue Jays came into this offseason with a mission. They signed Dylan Cease, they brought in Cody Ponce, and then in spring training, they went out and added Max Scherzer on top of that. 3 significant arms added to a rotation that already had José Berríos, Kevin Gausman, Chris Bassett, Yariel Rodriguez, and Trevor McDonald in the mix. That's not an accident. That's not a front office that got carried away. That's a front office that looked at a 162-game season and decided they were going to be ready for every single scenario that baseball throws at them. And baseball will throw everything at you. That's just the reality of the sport. We already saw it happen. Right here in spring training, not even 3 weeks in, José Berríos shows up to the World Baseball Classic, gets some testing done, and comes back with elbow inflammation. And yeah, that's scary. Berríos has been one of the most consistent arms on this staff, and you never want to hear the word inflammation attached to a pitcher's elbow. But here's the thing, and this is what makes this Blue Jays roster construction so smart. If Berríos has to start the year on the IL, they don't miss a beat. They literally just plug in the next guy, and that next guy is ready for a major league rotation right now. Not a guy you're crossing your fingers on. Not a AAA arm you're hoping figures it out. A legitimate starter. That's the depth they've built. And it's not just injuries you're protecting yourself from. It's underperformance. People forget how random baseball actually is. Guys have career years and then fall off completely. Guys bounce back from terrible seasons and look like completely different pitchers. The year-to-year variance in this sport is insane. And the Blue Jays have real question marks heading into 2026 that they need answers to. Dylan Cease has electric stuff. The talent is undeniable. But last year was rough, and the question is whether he can put it all together consistently at the big league level. Cody Ponce dominated in the KBO, made serious adjustments to his arsenal and his velocity, but transitioning to MLB competition is a completely different animal. Trevor McDonald flashed real ability in a small sample last year, but can he hold up over a full season while hitters start making adjustments to him? And Max Scherzer, all respect to a future Hall of Famer, but he's not the same guy he was 5 years ago. When he was healthy last year, there were bumps. What does he actually have left in the tank? Those are legitimate concerns. And instead of just hoping everything works out, the Blue Jays built a roster where if 2 or 3 of those guys disappoint, they still have answers. That's not luck. That's planning. Now, John Schneider has already addressed the elephant in the room. When there's a logjam and guys are healthy and performing, he's going to give the spot to whoever is most deserving based on what they're doing on the mound. And he's right when he says these are professionals. They're grown men who understand what winning a championship actually requires. We actually sat down with Max Scherzer for our podcast, dropping later this week, and he said it himself. It's not about personal stats. It's not about personal accolades. It's about getting a ring. That's the mentality. And that's what separates the Blue Jays from half the league right now. While other organizations are piecing together rotations and hoping nobody gets hurt and praying last year's performances carry over, the Blue Jays are sitting on legitimate depth at the most valuable position in baseball. They've got options. Real options. Pitching wins in October. We've seen it over and over again, and when the Blue Jays get to October baseball this year, this depth is going to be a massive reason why. The plan is already in motion, and honestly, it's looking pretty good from here. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know who you think locks down that 5th rotation spot. And as always, guys, let's go Jays.